They built the walls around your mind before you could even read. And the school system, the media, and Hollywood all held the bricks. But here's the thing. There are levels to how far you have broken through. And wherever you are right now is not a verdict. It is a starting point. Level 1, the sleeper. If this is you, you are not alone. You are not weak. You are not less. You are exactly where a system spent decades trying to keep every black person in America. The school system gave you Martin, Rosa, Harriet, maybe Frederick Douglass on a good day, and then it moved on. That was not education. That was a highlight reel designed to make you feel like the story was over and everything had been resolved. According to a 2018 Southern Poverty Law Center survey, only 8% of high school seniors could identify slavery as the central cause of the Civil War. 8%. And 2/3 of students, 68%, did not even know it took a constitutional amendment to formally end slavery. That is not ignorance. That is the result of a deliberate curriculum. 12 states. That is all. Only 12 states in this entire country mandate a K-12 Black History curriculum. The rest leave it up to whoever shows up that day with a lesson plan. And since 2021, 44 states have introduced bills to restrict or ban the teaching of history that makes certain people uncomfortable. They did not do all of that work by accident, family. They did it because they knew what would happen the moment you found out the full truth. So if you are at level 1, here is what it looks like. You know the names they gave you. MLK had a dream. Rosa Parks was tired. Harriet Tubman ran. You feel proud on February 1st and normal again by March. You have never heard of Fred Hampton. You could not tell someone what COINTELPRO was. Tulsa sounds like a city, not a crime scene. And that is not your fault. The National Museum of African American History and Culture found that U.S. history classrooms spend only 8 to 9% of total class time on Black history. 1 or 2 lessons. That is what they gave us. That is what they thought we deserved to know about ourselves. But here is where the forward path begins. If you are a sleeper, your only job right now is to stay curious. Keep watching. Keep asking questions. The fact that you clicked on this video means something already shifted inside you. And that shift is everything. Hey family, real talk. YouTube has shut down channels for telling exactly these kinds of stories. So I need you to find us off this platform. Go to blackstories-untold.com. Join our mailing list and make sure we stay connected no matter what they do. Now back to the list. Level 2, the awakened. Something cracked the shell. Maybe it was a conversation. Maybe it was a documentary. Maybe it was the summer of 2020 and the world would not let you look away anymore. However it happened, you woke up. And waking up hurt. Because once you learn what really happened to Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921, you cannot unknow it. A white mob, backed by city officials, destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the wealthiest Black community in America. They burned 1,256 homes. They looted 400 more. They blocked firefighters from responding. And they killed somewhere between 100 and 300 people. The real number may be even higher because official records were deliberately destroyed. Police and state militia archives went missing. The Tulsa Tribune removed the front page story that sparked the massacre from its bound volumes. Oklahoma did not add the Greenwood Massacre to its school curriculum until 2020, 99 years later. That is not negligence, family. That is a cover-up with paperwork. The awakened know things the school system never mentioned. You have heard of Malcolm X and understand why his framework hit different from the integration argument. You know Fred Hampton was 21 years old when Chicago police shot him in his bed on December 4th, 1969. You know the FBI shared floor plans of his apartment with the raiding officers. You know their own informant drugged Hampton with a barbiturate that night so he could not wake up. Police fired at least 80 shots. Hampton fired none. The government eventually paid a $1.85 million settlement, and a federal ruling confirmed the government conspired against the Black Panther Party. And they still did not put him in your history book. You probably know about the Tuskegee syphilis study too, but here's a detail that often gets missed. The government did not inject those men with syphilis. What they did was arguably worse. From 1932 to 1972, The United States Public Health Service enrolled nearly 400 black men who already had syphilis and told them they were being treated for bad blood. They were not treated. Even after penicillin became the standard cure in 1947, the government withheld it for 25 more years. By the time it ended, 28 men had died directly from syphilis. 100 died from related complications. 40 wives were infected. 19 children were born with the disease. They knew what they were doing. They chose to let it continue. President Clinton did not issue a formal apology until 1997. Let that land. If you are awakened, you feel the anger. You share the posts. You have the debates with relatives at Thanksgiving. But sometimes, the knowledge stops at the moments of pain without connecting to the larger system underneath. The forward path from level 2 is to move from knowing the crimes to understanding the architecture. Who built the system? How does it still function today? That is where level 3 lives. Level 3, the scholar. Family, if you are here, you have done real work. This is not a casual level. You have read books that were not assigned. You have sought out names that the mainstream never amplified. You understand that Reconstruction was not just a period of hope that faded. It was a deliberate demolition. Congress established the Freedmen's Bureau in March 1865. For a moment, a real moment, Black Americans were building. Howard University, Fisk University, Morehouse College, all rose from that era. But then Andrew Johnson reversed the land grants. Every acre of confiscated Confederate land that had been redistributed to formerly enslaved people was handed back to the original white owners. And by 1872, Congress dismantled the Bureau entirely. Sharecropping replaced slavery in function, if not in name, trapping Black families in debt cycles with no legal exit and violence waiting if they tried. The system did not fail Black people after emancipation. It was redesigned to contain them. You know Ida B. Wells, who used journalism to expose lynching at a time when speaking that truth could get you killed. You know Bayard Rustin, the architect of the 1963 March on Washington, who organized one of the most powerful demonstrations in American history and was then pushed behind the scenes because of his sexuality. You know Claudette Colvin, who on March 2, 1955, 9 months before Rosa Parks, refused to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus and was arrested at 15 years old. The movement chose not to rally behind her. She was young, dark-skinned, working class, and pregnant. The politics of respectability inside the movement itself decided whose face the story would wear. Claudette Colvin passed on January 13, 2026. She deserved far more than history gave her while she was alive. And that should make you furious. You know Robert F. Williams, whose 1962 book, Negroes with Guns, documented his community in Monroe, North Carolina, arming themselves for self-defense against white terror organizations, and how that text became one of the single most important intellectual influences on Huey P. Newton and the founding of the Black Panther Party. You know Carter G. Woodson, who founded Negro History Week in 1926, and who himself warned it was only meant to be a first step toward full integration of Black history into all curricula, not the ceiling. They turned it into a ceiling. The scholar sees the pattern. The racial wealth gap is not a mystery to you. White households hold 80% of all wealth in this country, while making up 65% of households. Black households make up 13.6% of households and hold 4.7% of the wealth. And here is the gut punch. Black households headed by someone with a college degree hold less wealth than white households headed by someone with only a high school diploma. Education alone was never going to close a gap that was built by policy and maintained by policy. Duke University research published in 2024 confirms the racial wealth gap is growing, not shrinking. This is the world we inherited and the world we are still fighting inside. The forward path from level 3 is not more information. It is transmission. What do you do with what you know? Level 4, the keeper. This is the level the system fears most. The keeper is not just someone who holds knowledge. The keeper passes it on. The keeper is the grandmother who tells the family story that never made it into print. The keeper is the independent Black journalist documenting what the mainstream ignores. The Keeper is the HBCU archivist preserving documents that would otherwise disappear. The Keeper is the community historian who shows up to the school board meeting and refuses to let them remove one more name from one more curriculum. The Keeper understands that knowledge held in one generation and not passed to the next is knowledge lost. And we have lost too much already. Keepers understand something that took centuries of erasure to prove. The racial wealth gap, the curriculum restrictions, COINTELPRO, the reversal of Reconstruction land grants, Tulsa, these were not separate failures. They were the same decision made again and again by specific people for specific reasons. To prevent Black economic independence, to prevent Black political power, to prevent Black people from knowing who we are and what we are capable of. Every generation that does not know its own history is easier to control. That was the calculation, and it was always a calculation. Here is the verdict, family. This was not neglect. This was not oversight. This was a system that worked exactly as designed, and the proof is in the documents, the settlements, the deleted archives, and the 44 states right now trying to shut the conversation down again. But they have never been able to fully close the door, because keepers exist, because you are watching this right now. Because somewhere in this country, a 15-year-old is about to hear the name Claudette Colvin for the first time, and something is going to crack open inside them. That crack is how the light gets in. Your level right now is where you start, not where you stop. Go to blackstories-untold.com. Join our mailing list and get the full guide on moving through every level, the names, the books, the events, and the action steps. We built it for you. Now go use it. This was Black Stories Untold, and as always, thanks for watching. If you want more stories like this, click the video on your screen now.